Good, happy Thursday morning, and Happy New Year, everyone. I'm Riley King, and welcome to this Thursday morning edition of WRMK News 12. Is Thursday, January 1st, 2026. We have a lot of news to get to on this new year and on this Thursday, so let's get started and begin right now. First up, we're gonna take a look at your morning traffic and see how the roads are looking like on this Thursday morning. And it's a little quiet out there on this Thursday morning. Traffic is moving smoothly across much of central and southern New Hampshire this morning. Major routes through Concord, Manchester, and Bedford are flowing well with no significant slowdowns. There is light congestion showing near the Franklin area, so drivers there may experience some brief delays. Eastern routes towards Rochester, Dover, and Portsmouth look clear, and highways connecting to the seacoast are moving steadily. Overall, it's a good commute this morning. Just allow a little extra time if you're traveling near Franklin, and also the roads could be a little slippery from the overnight snow that fell overnight as well. Now, let's get to your news. We're following some breaking news this morning. One dead, dozens displaced in early morning apartment fire. A fire that broke out on the third floor of an apartment building at the corner of Lowell Street and Union Street early Wednesday has left one person dead and several others injured, according to state officials. The New Hampshire State Fire Marshal Sean Toomey said multiple residents were transported to area hospitals and at least 13 families were displaced as a result of the blaze. Some residents were forced to jump from balconies to escape the flames. The fire started on the third floor, so that's where we're going to focus our investigation, Toomey said. We're just finished interviews with all the occupants. We believe the fire originated on the third floor and it prevented people from getting out into the halls. Fire crews and investigators continued working inside the building Wednesday, concentrating on one apartment as they sought to determine what caused the fire. Displaced residents were taken to a nearby church on Union Road to keep warm, while the American Red Cross assisted with food and other necessities. We're just trying to provide comfort care at the moment, said a Red Cross official. We're providing food and assistance while we wait for a determination from the fire marshals and investigators. The building's manager described the incident as a long night and called it a crazy start to 2026. The state fire marshal's office said the investigation into the cause of the fire remains ongoing, and we will keep updated as more information comes into the newsroom. And we're following some more breaking news. Dozens feared dead after New Year's Eve Day bar fire in Swiss Alps. Several people are presumed dead and approximately 100 others were injured following a fire early on New Year's Day at a bar in a resort town in the Swiss Alps, according to police. First night festivities light up Portsmouth as Seacoast rings in the new year. First night celebrations are underway on the Seacoast as Granite Staters prepared to bid farewell to 2025 and welcome the new year. The annual First Night Festival in Portsmouth, which began in 1986, continues to draw large crowds nearly 4 decades later. Hundreds of people filled downtown streets Wednesday night, many returning to take part in tradition they have enjoyed for years. This is what our 4th year here, said a husband and wife visiting from Danville, New Hampshire. With the influx of visitors, Portsmouth police increased their presence throughout the city to help ensure public safety during the celebrations. We'll be out there mainly for visibility to make sure people feel safe, help with traffic situations, and respond to any calls for service, said Lieutenant Jordan Wells of Portsmouth Police Department. Sometimes kids get away from their parents, so we help locate them, that type of thing. By Wednesday evening, crowds gathered near North Church in downtown Portsmouth, surrounding the First Night ice sculpture and filling nearby restaurants and businesses. Here we are going to the go to get some Christmas drinks, said one Portsmouth resident. While the evening offered a variety of activities, many attendees said they were most looking forward to the fireworks display that traditionally caps off the celebration. I like to see fireworks. I love to see the fireworks in the different colors, said a young girl from Newmarket. As the night continued, police reminded residents and visitors alike to plan ahead and avoid drinking and driving, emphasizing the importance of public safety as the new year approaches. 2026 could shape the future of New Hampshire's first in the nation primary. The coming year may prove pivotal for the future of New Hampshire's first in the nation presidential primary, as both major political parties begin laying the groundwork for the 2028 election cycle. For Democrats, 2025 was largely a rebuilding year following a turbulent 2024 cycle when President Joe Biden sought to upend more than a century of Granite State primary traditions by pushing for changes to the national nominating calendar. Since then, several potential 2028 Democrat presidential candidates have made visits to New Hampshire, a sign party leaders view as a positive step towards restoring the state's long-held position. Democrat leaders are now working to put the controversy behind them and rebuild momentum for returning New Hampshire to the top spot on the Democratic National Committee's primary calendar. There's something special here in New Hampshire, U.S. Senator Cory Booker, a Democrat from New Jersey, said during his visit in November. I support their efforts to be the first in the nation. The DNC's Rules and Bylaws Committee is expected to vote on a revised primary calendar in months ahead. Political analysts say party leaders are eager to avoid another drawn out internal battle. Democrats have a lot of ground over the last couple of years, and the last thing they should be doing is talking about their own primary process, said political analyst Scott Spradling. Despite national party decisions, the 2024 nomination process underscored a familiar reality. New Hampshire is likely to hold the first primary regardless of party rules. On the Republican side, potential 2028 White House contenders face a different strategy challenge. Vice President J.D. Vance made one visit to New Hampshire ahead of the 2024 election and is expected to return possibly in 2026 or later as he prepares for an anticipated presidential run. However, analysts say Republican hopefuls, including figures such as Marco Rubio, must tread carefully to avoid approaching to distance themselves from former President Donald Trump, who remains a dominant face within the party. I think what we'll see is anytime a Republican is going to disagree with President Trump, it's going to be very specific on any issue and never on personality or style, Spradling said. Right now, this is still the party of Donald Trump. And we're going to switch some gears now. Let's talk about some sports. In sports news, the Bruins roll past Oilers with dominant 6-2 win. The Boston Bruins delivered an impressive all-around performance, skating to a convincing 6-2 victory over the Edmonton Oilers on Tuesday night. Boston set the tone early and never let up, scoring 2 goals in each period to control the pace from start to finish. The Bruins jumped out to an early lead in the opening frame and continued to build momentum, using balance, scoring, and strong defense play to keep the Edmonton in check. Edmonton struggled to find sustained offense, managing just 1 goal in the first and third period, while being shut out entirely in the second. Boston's defense limited high-quality chances and helped preserve the lead throughout the night. With the win, the Bruins improved to a 21-18-2 on the season, while the Oilers dropped to 20-15-6 victory. The victory gives Boston a confidence boost as they continue to battle in the Atlantic Division standings. The Bruins will look to carry that momentum into their next matchup as they push to climb the division ranks. Celtics set for West Coast test against the Kings. The Boston Celtics continue their road trip tonight as they face the Sacramento Kings in a late-night matchup on the West Coast, with tip-off scheduled for 10 p.m. tonight. Boston enters the game with a 20-12 record, sitting third in the Eastern Conference and looking to maintain momentum as the season moves into the new year. The Celtics have relied on strong team defense and balanced scoring to stay near the top of the conference standings. Sacramento, meanwhile, has struggled this season, coming into a matchup at 8-25 despite their record. The Kings will look to defend their home court as player spoiler against one of the East top contenders. The Celtics will aim to take advantage of the matchup by setting a tempo early, controlling the board, and limiting turnovers against the Kings team, eager to turn the season around. Tip-off from the Sacramento is set for 10 p.m. Eastern as Boston looks to start the new year with a road victory. And that does it for this morning edition of WRMK News 12. Thank you for tuning in and watching. Have a great rest of your day, and see you back here later on today for another broadcast. Goodbye.